Hello everyone and welcome to my second video of the Micro Machine 10NL. Today I'll be 4 tabling 6 max 10NL. I've progressed from 2 tabling to 4 tabling now as I feel a lot more comfortable at these stakes, although I have had a pretty shocking run of late. But other than that, it's been quite good. King 10 out of position, offsuit I'm going to fold. I've just started playing on these tables, so I haven't got much information to play back at anyone yet or get tricky. Yeah, we're out of position here against a very deep stack. Player on the button who seems to be playing position. I think a call here would be good if I had like a lot of information on the player, but I'm just going to fold for now until a little bit later on when I get some more reads on what sort of hands he's playing with in the cutoff and button. What I've done basically is I've adjusted my play in the small and big blind. Example, with a 3-2 suited, I would generally probably raise to isolate the open limper. Given the fact that he's only got 61 big blinds, also helps me fold this hand now. I mean, I know we've got a tight player, or appears to be a tight player in the big blind, so I'm just starting to fold hands like that now and just not get involved, because I'm finding that not only will people still call you down to the river with second pair, but they'll also call you down with a high card that beats yours. So just basically to get me out of the tricky spots. Here I think with the ace queen, I think a call here is probably better than a raise. I mean, at this limit I think a raise might get them to fold, probably not as much, so I mean it's probably hard to say. I guess a raise there is probably 50-50 depending on the opponent. And it's a standard C bet of 40 cents. That's pretty weak to me personally. I've got the back to a flush draw and straight draws with hopefully you know, the overcards, but we'll see where we're at. I think $1.10 gets the job done just as much as $1.20 or 50. And if he's really leading out here with a 10, or yeah, then we can easily get away from it. So we can pretty much get away from that hand. Let me know what you think about the pre-flop play there. Maybe I could have got away with from it pre-flop. Maybe a fold's good there out of position. Obviously you can easily put him on pocket pairs, 8s and up or something like that as well. So I'll just make a note. Yeah, hands like Queen 6 suited on the button I generally raise with, but I'm just sort of tightening up a little bit my raises in late position and on the button, so, and it's basically proven to be a lot more profitable, especially at the lower stakes where we're at. I've sort of been playing like more amateurish poker instead of beginner, where at these stakes it's all about just beginner A, B, C with a little bit of a twist here and there. So I do plan for this video to go for 3 parts of 10 minutes. Here we've got, yeah, I'm just going to fold. Usually I'd min 3 times big blind, and Jack 8 out of position suited is definitely a fold to an under the gun raise. especially being only 71 deep. But I mean, these are the plays you look out for. When I play, I certainly don't look to go to a regular table with regs everywhere. I just tend to look for the tables where people aren't auto-topping up, and more or less like to join a table where I'm in position on a big stack. Ace-8 offsuit, definitely a fold. I've adjusted my HUD a little bit too. Had a lot of feedback saying that I should get rid of the aggression factor and just some useless stats that were on there, and I've done so. So what I've got now, and I'll be raising to 30 cents plus 1 for the limper with the 8s. What I've done now is I've got their the percentage of hands they're playing, their pre-flop raise, their fold to flop bet, C-bet, and their fold to turn bet, C-bet, and their 3-bet percentage, which I think are pretty vital with these limits. Let me know if there's others that you think of that would be more useful on the HUD, the immediate HUD. You can see over here on the top left table that I'm actually playing very tight. A lot of people may take this into consideration, although it's hard to say at these limits that people actually take a lot of notes that I am playing really tight. So an under the gun raise would obviously mean a strong hand, which can work to our advantage later on. So he's called me in position here. I'm just going to check. He could have a hand like King 9 or something, or a straight or a flush draw, so I'm pretty much giving this hand up now. Ten 9 is definitely something I'll open with. King Jack out of position. I'm getting 3.5 to 1 here on a call, so, and that's a dangerous flop. This is sort of a flop where you sort of, I mean, is a check raise good here, or do you lead out? I think personally I'd lead out on this flop to see where I'm at. I mean, if we get raised, we can sort of get away from the hand, but now we've got a gut shot. I mean, the check behind here seems fine. A lot of the time. I think a check behind's probably best. Now, really, hands that he would call with here, I mean, I probably could value bet this, but a lot of draws got there on the river, so given the fact that he's snap checked twice, indicates to me that he's probably got a hand like a pair of 8s, so I'm actually going to try and value bet here. Let me know what you think about that. I mean, if he raises, then maybe I should have just checked behind, but guess he could have easily have a hand like pocket 9s, or just second or bottom pair on the flop, but he had the exact same hand, so you can see that he's playing a lot more passively than I am, that's for sure. Here we get, well, we get just over min raised, I guess. I'm on the button here. I'm obviously going to put in a raise. I'm probably quite happy to get my money with jacks. Wow. I mean, I'm getting huge odds here. I can't fold, so if he has ace king or kings, or then it's just a cooler, I think, personally. And I will be raising here with the ace king. Oh, and he only had 10, so I mean, it's pretty easy for me to get my money with jacks at this limit. I mean, obviously higher limits I'd probably rethinking, especially, but given that I was pot committed with that huge 4-bet, I'm obviously going to get my money in there, getting over 2-1, almost 3-1 really. So we'll just make a note of this player's 3-betting, 5-bet shoving.